Thank you for joining us on the news at this time on NTA International. I'm Lami Ali. Bringing the news to you alongside me is Shegun Ajayi, the sign language interpreter. Let's go for the headlines. Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja declares Kabiru Gawuna of APC as winner of Kano State governorship election, dismisses appeal of Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf. New hope for victims of rape and sexual exploitation as global leaders converge on Sierra Leone to chart a way forward. Nigeria's First Lady leads Nigerian delegation. Kenya's William Ruto makes list of world's 100 most influential leaders shaping global climate action. President Bola Tinubu will on Saturday depart Abuja for Berlin, Germany to attend the G20 Compact with Africa conference on November 20th, 2023, hosted by German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. During the conference, President Tinubu will join other heads of state and government of CWA member countries, bilateral partners as well as heads of international organizations to deliberate on the immediate enhancement of economic and business cooperation with a view to outlining concrete measures to boost investments in critical areas such as energy, trade, infrastructure and new technologies, among others. The G20 CWA conference will be taking place alongside the 4th G20 Investment Summit, co-hosted by the German governments and German business associations. In view of President Bola Tinubu's globally recognized drive for foreign direct investments into Nigeria, the president will sustain the momentum and advance the mission further as he leads Nigeria's delegation to participate in the investment summit. This visit will also affirm President Tinubu's commitment to diplomatic reciprocity as the invitation to Germany from the German Chancellor is being honored following the visit of the German Chancellor to Abuja and Lagos, Nigeria from October 29th to October 30th, 2023. President Tinubu will return to the country following the conclusion of the conference. Now, a new chapter has been opened for victims of rape and sexual exploitation across the globe as nations around the world rally behind a cause to give them a voice in Freetown, Sierra Leone. Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, who is in the country to participate in the first-year commemoration of November 18th as UN World Day Against Rape and Girl Child Exploitation, joined the President of Sierra Leone, Julius Maada Bio, his wife Fatima Bio, and the First Lady of Angola, Ana Dias Lourenço, at a special Jumat service held at the Presidential Lodge in Freetown. As the heart of the service is the need to address the emotional state of victims, change their psyche, and initiate healing process for them. Goodwill messages came with commitments and assurance that survivors of rape and other gender-based violence would no longer be alone, their pain ignored by the world. Now, joining us via Zoom from Freetown, Sierra Leone, is Nigeria's First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu. Your Excellency, it's nice to have you on our news.
Thank you very much.
Now, Nigeria is one of the co-sponsors of the proposal that led to the UN resolution which gave rise to the Day Against Rape and Girl Child Exploitation. Your Excellency, how important is this for you, seeing that you are putting your face and your voice to this cause?
I think it was quite an emotional day for all of us. And to find a woman who could champion that and be a voice on an issue that has plagued us for a long time. And we have talked, we have canvassed, and we see even the state first ladies in Nigeria, they have days of activism, speaking against sexual violence and domestic violence. And for somebody to go all the way to the United Nations to speak and to get a day to get the resolution for a day like November 18 being put there in the annals of our history. I think it's quite commendable, and I'm so glad I'm part of it. And I believe that next year we'll be celebrating, and I believe that the entire world will be celebrating. It's a freedom for the girl child. It's a freedom for all Nigerians, all women all over the world, because we have cases from Holland, from different issues, even on men being violated. And I think for us, it's a very, very proud day. We were received in Sierra Leone, you know, it's like home for us. They commended Nigeria, and they believe that Nigeria is their big brother, and, you know, that we stood by them in their times of need. And what else can I do than to reciprocate that? And that's why I'm here. It's quite overwhelming. The reception has been quite commendable. Really, it's as if we are at home on the soil of Africa again. And I believe that Africa, this is the time for us. We have to seize the momentum, and that's what we are doing. You know, is the success of one is the success of all. And then when one cry, I believe all of us should cry. But we believe this is a time of celebration.
Apart from lending your voice to this cause, are we seeing Nigeria signing any commitments at this commemoration?
There's no commitment. We are co-sponsors of the resolution taking. The day is already established. They've done the signing way back, and I think it's the Nigerian mission that stood for us. So when we came on board and I met Our Excellency Dr. Fatima Mada Bayo, she was really, really looking forward to meeting me and for me coming over to Sierra Leone to celebrate the day with them. So this would be the first of many, many more to come. So next year we will be celebrating in Nigeria, and I believe that all the state first ladies who had lent their voice to this cause will be very, very excited to actually have a day to celebrate. They've had days of activism, and I think to be granted a day worldwide, you know, is no small feat.
To measure success, are we going to have a situation where there will be an emplacement of peer review mechanisms among countries within the continent?
I don't know yet, because we've just arrived, but I'm here to speak with her. But the African First Ladies Organization is a very, very strong one. And Angola is here represented. And whatever we do, I think we'll be meeting in Addis Ababa, you know, in the beginning of the year. So there's a meeting there, and I think this is something the issues we'll be talking about. So I'm here to learn more. But, you know, for what is being done today, it's really a very great celebration for all the women of the world.
We understand that this struggle resonates with your well-known stance that women must have a voice and be empowered in the right and safe environments. Now, how much of this are we seeing on the home front, both at the national and subnational levels?
I never believed in violence, but at the same time, I believe I have the strength, and also being a woman in her 60s, I've seen things, and at the same time, I've always spoken and always supported girl issues, and I don't believe a woman is supposed to be disrespected, and we have to build confidence in all our girls. And when you know who you are, and this is one of the things I've promoted over the years, a woman has to find her purpose, has to find her voice. Once you do that, you don't have to scream doing that. Once you do that, a woman has to work very hard. And I believe for you to be heard, you have to work, you know, if not rise as much as what a man would give and get commendation. So a woman has to be, if you want to be heard, if you want to shine in your calling, you have to be able to work more and make sure that you speak up, and not in a violent manner. Speak up, and then, you know, people will listen.
Now, how best do you think political leaders, the society at large, can bring healing to victims of gender-based violence, girl-child exploitation, and rape in Africa?
I think this has really set the ball rolling for us. And I believe that, now if we can go all the way to Sierra Leone to make this known, they will know that this is more serious than just plain lip service. This is serious. It has come to stay. The woman has gained her freedom, finally. And the woman should not be afraid to speak up. It is not their fault that, an offense is being committed. You speak up so that other women can heal, and then we can have situation and legislation that can help that. And like I spoke today, I said, the woman is the man's grandmother. They actually came from us. So why would you be violating us? The judiciary to take a more stronger and a more firmer stance. They can't play lip service to it. I know, they said he who is without sin should cast the first stone. We're all guilty in this, but we can heal. We can do better. They said once you know better, you do better. So now we know, and we believe that the future of our children should be secured. They shouldn't be treated like animals or a toy. They should be treated well. They should be respected. And I believe that we women should begin to raise our voice to respect women.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for sharing those perspectives and your thoughts. And we wish you the best of luck in the conference that is ongoing.
Thank you very much.
That was Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, speaking on gender-based violence. Now, Kenya's President William Ruto has been named by Time magazine as one of the world's 100 most influential leaders shaping global climate action. Justin Bemunyi reports that the listing is coming in the week he led a national holiday aimed at planting 100 million trees in a single day.
Mr. Ruto was named alongside the mayor of Sierra Leone's capital Freetown, Yvonne Akisoya, Burkinabe German architect Francis Kere, and Ethiopian climate entrepreneur Kiduz Asfar also made the Time list. The ranking, known as Time 100 Climate, was released on Thursday and is the magazine's inaugural attempt to name those it sees as significant in highlighting and doing something about the issue of climate change across the globe. Time said it selected those listed for making significant progress in fighting climate change by creating business value. The magazine also said that the honorees were chosen because their efforts in fighting climate change were recent and produced measurable and scalable achievements rather than commitments and announcements. Mr. Ruto has been vocal in trying to deal with the impact of climate change in Kenya and Africa. The tree planting holiday held on 13 November was part of his larger ambition for Kenya to plant 15 billion trees in 10 years. In September, he hosted the first ever Africa Climate Summit in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, which ended in a joint declaration demanding that major polluters commit more resources to help poorer nations. But some environmentalists have called Mr. Ruto a hypocrite for championing tree planting while failing to tame illegal logging in public forests. Last month, an environmental court stopped a directive that Mr. Ruto gave in June to lift a 2018 ban on logging. In October, he called for the eviction of people living in the 380,000-hectare Mau forest. While some environmentalists hailed the move as critical to safeguarding the forest, some human rights lawyers said the government illegally evicted the Ogaik indigenous community, which has inhabited the land for generations, to profit from carbon offsetting schemes. Justin Bemunyi, NTA News.
You're watching the news on NTA International. Time now for some messages. We shall return after that break. Now, Zimbabwe has declared a state of emergency in the capital, Harare, over a cholera outbreak. Justin Bemunyi reports that the outbreak has so far killed dozens of people, with more than 7,000 suspected cases.
The city authorities say the outbreak spreading throughout the city has invoked memories of a deadly outbreak in 2008, in which thousands died. Reports have it that Zimbabwe's cholera crisis is fueled by chronic water shortages. The authorities are now asking for help to contain the spread and provide safe water, saying the aid being received is inadequate. Health authorities have been struggling to contain the high number of admissions following the outbreak, according to the International Federation of the Red Cross. It cites a lack of health workers to manage the cases, as well as lack of supplies to stop the transmission. Zimbabwe has been battling the deadly cholera outbreak in recent months amid a lack of access to clean water. The epicenter of the latest outbreak is Harare's high-density suburb of Kuwadzana, which accounts for nearly half the reported cases, according to the authorities. On Thursday, the Harare mayor said the cholera outbreak had similarities to the 2008 outbreak. The outbreak then led to the deaths of over 4,000 people, with at least 100,000 infected, which led to a paralysis of basic services in the country. This pushed then-President Robert Mugabe into agreeing a historic power-sharing deal with his long-time rival, Morgan Tsvangirai. In 2018, the country declared a state of emergency after 20 deaths and more than 2,000 cases related to typhoid and cholera were reported. On Tuesday, the Ministry of Health announced that the country has recorded 7,398 suspected cases, 50 confirmed deaths, and 109 people in hospital. It came as the health minister visited the epicenter, announcing measures to deal with the outbreak, including the removal of street food vendors and trucking of safe water. The IFRC says the disease is quickly spreading, affecting multiple geographical areas in 45 out of 62 districts and in all 10 provinces of the country. It says the outbreak can be expected to cross the border. Neighboring countries including Malawi, South Africa, and Mozambique have also frequently experienced cholera outbreaks in the past. Justin Bemunyi, NTA News.
The World Health Organization, WHO, on Wednesday officially recognized loneliness as a global health crisis and announced the launch of an international commission dedicated to addressing this pressing issue. Again, Justin Bemunyi brings us the details.
Co-chaired by U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy and African Union Youth Envoy Chido Mpemba, the WHO's Commission on Social Connection comprises 11 influential policymakers, thought leaders, and advocates. With a 3-year mandate, the Commission aims to delve into the profound impact of loneliness on health across all age groups and develop scalable solutions. According to the Global Health Organization, contrary to the misconception that these challenges mainly impact older individuals in wealthy nations, they affect the health and well-being of people of all ages worldwide, stating that 1 in 4 older people experience social isolation and the rates are broadly similar in all regions. It also said that adolescents between 5 to 15% experience loneliness, according to research findings. However, these figures are likely to be underestimations. The WHO Director General, Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus, said the high rates of social isolation and loneliness around the world have serious consequences for health and well-being. People without enough strong social connections are at higher risk of stroke, anxiety, dementia, depression, suicide, and more. He noted that the Commission's mission is to establish loneliness as a top-tier global health priority and disseminate effective interventions to combat its adverse effects. WHO revealed that findings stated that an absence of social connection is reported to carry a risk of premature death equivalent to or even surpassing that posed by well-known factors like smoking, excessive drinking, physical inactivity, obesity, and air pollution. Justin Bemunyi, NTA News.
Experts in international law and treaties have charged key stakeholders in international relations and implementation of relevant treaties entered into by Nigeria on the global scene to develop the economy. This was the unanimous submission by speakers at a hybrid seminar organized by the Nigeria Institute of Advanced Legal Studies in Abuja. Judiciary correspondent Austin Anyebe has the story.
The theme of the seminar is Treaty Law and State Practice in a Creative Digital Green and Blue Nigeria Economy, Implications for Policy Decisions on Infrastructure and Sustainable Development, Trade, Investment, Industrialization, and Foreign Affairs. Speakers believe that Nigeria has in several past decades entered into several treaties which, if reviewed by the present government, stands to benefit the country.
95% of all the multilateral treaties Nigeria actually has signed and ratified, meaning legally binding on Nigeria, have not been domesticated, which means we need a dialogue between the executive and the legislature, to prioritize which of these multilateral treaties is binding on Nigeria in the areas of trade, investment, intellectual property rights, human rights, humanitarian law, peace and security.
Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, represented by the Solicitor General of the Federation, Beatrice Jedi Agba, agreed with speakers that under the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, every treaty entered into by Nigeria shall be explored for the advancement of the country.
In an era of globalization and interest-based interrelationships, understanding the intricate web of treaties and their impact on policy making becomes vital for effective governance and decision making.
To help refresh the minds of those saddled with implementation of treaties, the Institute unveiled volumes of publications of treaties entered into by Nigeria. In Abuja, Austin Anyebe, NTA News.
So appeal sitting in Abuja has dismissed the appeal of the governor of Kano State, Abba Kabir Yusuf, challenging the judgments of the Governorship Election Petition Tribunal that gave victory to Kabiru Gawuna of the All Progressives Congress, APC. Olabode Arewa reports that the Kano State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal on September 20, 2023 nullified the election of Abba Kabir Yusuf as governor of the state.
Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf of the New Nigeria People's Party approached the Court of Appeal seeking to overturn the judgment of the Kano State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal that sacked him from office. In that verdict, the tribunal declared Nasir Yusuf Gawuna as the rightful winner of the March 18, 2023 election on the basis that the governor's name was not in the NNPP register as at the time of the election. This is in line with Section 177, subsection C of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, as well as Section 77 of the Electoral Act 2022. The tribunal had also deducted 165,663 votes belonging to the governor for being invalid votes as they were not stamped by INEC. But Governor Abba Yusuf appealed the tribunal's decision, pointing out what he termed as errors in the judgment and praying for his mandate to be restored. Governor Yusuf, through his counsel, formulated 9 issues for determination in the appeal. One of the grounds of the appeal was that Gawuna was not a party in the petition and therefore cannot benefit from the verdict. But the appeal court agreed with the arguments canvassed by Gawuna and his party, the APC, saying that the appellant, Governor Yusuf, failed to adduce credible evidence to prove that he was an NNPP member, as a candidate could only qualify to participate in an election only if he was sponsored by a political party, and Governor Yusuf did not qualify as such. The appellate court thereafter affirmed Gawuna's victory as governor-elect of Kano State, awarding 1 million naira costs against Governor Yusuf in favor of the respondents. Meanwhile, the Court of Appeal has affirmed the victory of Bauchi State Governor Bala Mohammed in the governorship election held in the state in March 2023. The court, in dismissing the appeal, filed by Sadiq Abubakar of the APC, held that allegations of overvoting were not supported by credible evidence. Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
Now, the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, has ordered that the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Godwin Emefiele, be remanded in Kuje Correctional Center pending the determination of his request for bail. The presiding judge, Justice Hamza Muazu, gave the order in Abuja. With this ruling, Emefiele will remain as the correctional center until November 22nd, when the court will decide on his bail application. The lead counsel to Emefiele, Matthew Boka, SAN, moved the application for bail, which defense counsel Rotimi Oyedepo vehemently opposed on behalf of the federal government. After taking arguments for and against the application, Justice Muazu said a bench ruling could not be delivered in view of the plethora of authorities cited by the two parties. Up next is Saturday's weather prospects for Nigeria and some cities across the world. And that does it on the news at this time on NTA International. We thank you for watching. Segun Ajayi has been the sign language interpreter, and I remain Lami Ali.